The next entity which we need for our hotel booking app is the reviews entity. So a user make a review about a hotel and give some ratings. Now between the user and the review, we will have one-to-many relationship. And between the hotel and reviews also, we will have one-to-many relationship. So here, one user can make multiple reviews. So here between user and reviews, we have one-to-many relationship. And in the same way, one hotel can have multiple reviews. So between hotel and reviews also, we have one-to-many relationship. Now, the next question is how to model this relationship between user and reviews and hotel and reviews. So let's first take an example of user and reviews. So as I said, one user can make multiple reviews about different hotels. So between user and reviews, we have one-to-many relationship. And when we have one-to-many relationship, we have learned that we can go with reference approach. Also, the related data, in this case, the reviews data can increase over time. So in future, a user can make more reviews. So this reviews array, if we store the review document directly inside this reviews array, in that case, in future, this array can grow indefinitely. So here, embedded document approach will not fit. And that's why here we are using referencing approach, where in the reviews array, instead of storing the review documents, we are storing a reference of the review document. The review documents are present in a different collection. Let's say in a reviews collection. And from the user document, we are referencing those review documents which that particular user has made. Then in this case, when we are going to read user data, with that user data, we might not be interested in reading the reviews which he has made, right? We are only interested in the user data, like the name of the user, city of the user, email of the user, etc. So here, the related data need not to be read together. And when that is the case, at that time also, we go with reference approach. And finally, the related data can be updated or read independently. We might want to read all the reviews independently, or we might want to update a review independently. So in that case also, the reference approach is the preferred approach. So when going with this relationship between user and reviews, we will use reference approach. Now, which reference approach, whether it should be parent referencing or child referencing, that we will see in a bit. Now let's take example of hotel and reviews. So between the hotel and reviews also, we have one-to-many relationship. One hotel can have multiple reviews. So again here also, since we have one-to-many relationship, we will go with reference approach. And also the related data will increase indefinitely when the hotel will get more reviews. So this reviews array can grow indefinitely. So that's why here using embedded document approach is not preferred. And that's why we will use reference approach. And then related data need not to be read together, because when we are going to read the details of the hotel, with that we might not want to fetch the reviews which that hotel has received. We might want to read it and update it independently. So for this relation also, the reference approach is the preferred approach. Now the question is which reference approach we should use, whether we should use child referencing or we should use parent referencing. So for both hotel and reviews and user and reviews, we are going to use parent referencing. Let's try to understand why. So again, let's first take an example of user and reviews relation. Here, if we go with child referencing, where the user document will store a reference of all its child documents, all the reviews which that user has made, in that case, this reviews array can grow indefinitely, because in the future the user can add more reviews. So let's say if a user has created 10,000 reviews for different hotels, then this reviews array will have 10,000 object IDs. So this array can grow indefinitely. And also here, since we don't want to read the related data, in this case the reviews data, when we are going to query the parent document, the user document, so for that reason also using child referencing here is not advised, because when we are going to fetch the user details, with that user details we will also get the review IDs, and we are not going to use this review ID in the front end. So it will unnecessarily occupy the network bandwidth. We will have the data which we are not going to use when showing the user details. right? So in this case is not advised. So in this case, we are going to use where the child document, in this case, the review document is going to store the user ID of the user who has made that review. So here the child document will store a reference to its parent document. So here we are going to use parent referencing approach. Okay. Then between the hotel and the reviews also we have the same situation. When we are going to read the hotel details and when we want to display the hotel details, we don't want to display the reviews immediately. Okay, so here, first of all, this reviews array can grow indefinitely in size because many user might want to give some review for this hotel. So the reviews will keep on coming from different users and this reviews array will keep on growing. So it can grow indefinitely. So this is one reason we are not going to use child referencing here in this relationship between hotel and reviews. And the other reason is since we don't want to fetch the review details when we are going to fetch the hotel detail. So in that case also the child referencing does not make any sense here. So in this case also we are going to use parent referencing where the ratings will store the ID of the hotel for which the review has been made. Okay. So the final review document will look something like this. So the review document will have its own ID, it will have a ratings property, it will have the comment property which will contain the review text, and then it is going to store a reference to the user document who has made that review, and it is going to store a reference to the hotel document for which the review has been made. Okay. And since this review document has two parents, the user and the hotel, it is storing a reference of both those parent documents. I hope it's clear why we are using parent referencing here. Now let's go ahead and let's define the review model. And from the next lecture, we will start performing CRUD operation on that review model. So let's go to VS Code and let's go to models folder. And there, let's create a new file and let's call it as review.js. And inside this file, first of all, we are going to require Mongoose, and using this Mongoose variable, we are going to create a schema. So on this Mongoose, we have this schema constructor, which we are going to call. And to that, we are going to pass an object, and this is going to return us a schema. So let's go ahead and let's store it in a variable, and let's simply call it as review schema. Now for the review, first of all, we want the rating. So here the type is going to be number and it is going to be a required field. So whenever a user is going to make a review for a hotel, he has to provide the rating value. And here let's also set min and max value. So minimum can be 1 and maximum can be 5. So a review will have a minimum value of 1 and a maximum value of 5. Then the other field which we want is review comment. So here this is going to be of type string and it is going to be a required field. So I'll set the required to true. Then we are also going to have the user ID. So I'll simply call it as user, the field name as user. This is going to be of type mongoose dot schema dot object ID. Okay. And here this is going to reference the user model. Okay, so our user model is associated with the user collection in the MongoDB database. So this object ID is referencing that user collection. And for that here, for the reference, we have to specify the model name. And then this is also going to be a required field. So I'll set required to true. Okay, in the same way, let me copy this. Let's paste it here. Then here, we are also going to store the hotel ID for which that review has been made. So here, instead of calling it as hotel ID, I'll simply call it as hotel. Okay, and for this hotel field also, we are going to store the object ID of the hotel for which the review has been made. Here, the reference will be hotel model. And this is also going to be a required field. Finally, what we also want is when the review is created, we also want to store the date and time when that review was made. So here I can add a created at field, but instead of doing that, we know that we also have other option, which is timestamp. So I'm going to set this timestamp to true. What this will do, whenever a new review document will be created, it will create two extra fields, created at and updated at. The created at field, it will store the date and time when the review document was created, and the updated at field is going to store the date and time when the review document was last updated. Okay, and actually it should be timestamps. Now let's go ahead and let's create a model out of this schema. So for that, here let's say module.exports. Basically we want to create a model and we also want to export it, and here we are going to use mongoose.model, and for the model name, let's specify the model name as review, and let's pass this review schema here. And with this, we have created a model out of the review schema, and we are exporting it from this review.js file. Let's save the changes here. Let's go to terminal and let's see if we have any error. We do not have any error. So this review model is created. Now using this review model, we will create new review documents in the MongoDB database, and we will also perform CRUD operation on that. So in the next lecture, let's see how we can create reviews. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.